Money is a magnifier, not a fixer, Tony Robbins. From the moment you first glimpse a bank balance swelling with profits, you feel a thrill of possibility. Yet that number on the screen is neither a cure nor a savior. It simply magnifies what already lies within you. Imagine two entrepreneurs, both facing a sudden influx of capital. One sees only risk, the lure of luxurious offices, flashy hires, and marketing blitzes that promise quick glory. The other sees opportunity, the chance to sharpen strengths, address weaknesses, and multiply impact. The money itself did not transform them. It simply reflected their inner priorities, amplifying what was already there. In the early days of her startup, Maria learned this lesson the hard way. Flush with a small angel investment, she splurged on a lavish launch party, hoping that buzz would make up for a product still in beta. The event dazzled drinks, DJs, a red carpet, but orders barely budged. The party magnified Maria's desire for external approval rather than deep customer connection. Overnight, she realized that cash alone could not fix the fact that her core offering needed refinement. Determined to course correct, Maria redirected those funds toward user research. She sat for hours with potential customers in coffee shops, sketching interfaces on napkins and listening without pitching. With each insight, her product gained clarity. When she relaunched 6 months later, the difference was stark. Downloads skyrocketed, retention soared, and word of mouth spread like wildfire. Money had not fixed her product, it simply magnified her prior neglect. Once she aligned funds with genuine value creation, the results multiplied. Consider Jack, a seasoned investor whose fund suddenly doubled in size after a major exit. Temptation whispered, expand quickly, add new sectors, chase every trend. But Jack knew that capital magnifies temperament. If he rushed, his impatience would lead to poor diligence, overpriced deals, and strained relationships. Instead, he tightened his criteria, doubling down on the industries he truly understood and the founders whose vision he admired. Jack's restraint earned respect. He cultivated deeper partnerships, offered hands-on support to portfolio companies, and built a reputation for thoughtful, data-driven advice. When markets turned rocky, his firms weathered the storm better than peers. Again, money did not rescue. Poor decisions. It accentuated strengths when paired with discipline. On a crisp autumn morning, you receive news that your Series A round has closed at an amount far beyond your projection. Your team erupts in celebration cake, high fives, plans for a new head of marketing. Pause, though. Take a breath and ask, what is this capital here to magnify? If you double your headcount but still lack a unified mission, you'll simply multiply confusion. If you launch multiple features without a clear roadmap, you'll magnify frustration. Instead, imagine channeling those dollars toward one transformative goal. Perfecting that one feature that your beta users love most. You could hire an expert designer, invest in automated testing, or build a customer success team to ensure every user feels heard. As winter deepens, most see snow. You see clarity. It's cold strips away excuses, and the extra runway your funding provides can magnify either fear or courage. Fear tempts you to hoard cash, draw lines around every expense, and shrink your vision to avoid risk. Courage invites you to invest in the bold, planting a new market, hiring a key leader, or launching a social impact initiative aligned with your mission. In every case, the money magnifies your default mindset, scarcity or abundance. On a stormy December night, you gather your leadership team by candlelight, literally, because the power has flickered in the cold snap. As you huddle to keep warm, you realize that real resilience comes from creativity under constraint. With that insight, you pitch a winter hackathon, challenging teams to build cost-effective product enhancements using only existing resources. The energy in the room crackles more brightly than any heating lamp. When the lights return, the hackathon results in 3 viable prototypes, 2 of which become core roadmap items. Money wasn't the hero. Ingenuity was, and funding merely magnified what you already valued. By midwinter, you face a fork in the road. You could continue hiring aggressively, bringing on every specialist under the sun. Or you could invest in depth. Send your current Team 2, advanced training. Enrich your company culture and build processes that sustain excellence. The Magnifier lesson whispers. Deeper expertise magnifies more than surface breadth. When the first snowdrops appear, you launch your people development program. You host workshops on emotional intelligence, hire coaches, and create peer mentorship circles. The result? Your team communicates more fluidly, anticipates customer needs, and solves problems without waiting for your sign-off. Your product evolves faster, customer satisfaction climbs, and investor confidence strengthens. Money magnified culture and culture magnified performance. As spring unfurls, you reflect on how money has shaped your journey. It didn't rescue you from tough conversations with partners. It only made them louder if left unaddressed. It didn't grant you vision. It only illuminated whether you saw challenges as walls or doorways. It didn't build products. It merely enabled you to build at scale. You recall the story of a mentor who told you, "Capital is like water, it nurtures what you plant. But if you flood the field, you drown the seedlings." You smile, realizing how often entrepreneurs overwater throwing money at every problem in hopes of a quick fix. Instead, treat money as fertilizer. Apply it judiciously to the roots of your greatest strengths. In early summer, your board invites you to present next year's budget. Walking into that meeting, you carry a different mindset. You propose fewer line items and a single, focused moonshot, initiative one, that leverages your team's unique talents. It aligns with market demand and embodies your deepest purpose. You hear surprised gasps, then nods of approval. Board sees conviction and coherence. You secure unanimous support. That night, a quiet celebration unfolds at home. You and your partner toast with modest wine, no caviar and lobster, just genuine appreciation. You talk about the year ahead, about the families you hope to impact, and the legacy you intend to build. Money, you agree, will amplify your ability to serve others, but it will never substitute for the passion that drives you. Later, you encounter a setback in late summer. Major client reconsiders their contract after leadership changes. Your CFO worries aloud. "We might miss our revenue targets. Do we cut costs? Pause hiring?" You lean back and remind the team, this is a test. What do we learn from their decision? How can we improve our offering? If we react with panic, money will only magnify our fear. If we adapt with curiosity, it magnifies our resilience. You convene a task force to dissect the client's feedback, iterate on the solution, and propose a revamped partnership model. Within weeks, the client not only renews but expands their commitment. As autumn returns, colors shifting, you host your first annual Magnifier Summit, inviting entrepreneurs and investors to share how capital amplified their values, both positive and negative. The stories flow. Capital magnified greed in one founder's vanity project. It magnified generosity in another's philanthropic venture. You facilitate workshops on mindset, inviting everyone to craft their own Magnifier manifesto. Personal pledge to align funds with their highest purpose. By the summit's end, you see a community transformed. Attendees depart not with flashy swag, but with a renewed sense of responsibility, to view every dollar as a lever that magnifies character and impact. On the last day of the year, you stand at your office window, the skyline glowing in sunset. You recall the opening night of your launch, the winter hackathon, the boardroom breakthrough, the client crisis, and the summit's shared wisdom. Money never fixed anything. It only magnified what was already within you and your community, your vision, values, strengths, and blind spots. And that is the true power of capital, not to solve every problem, but to reveal where your greatest work remains. When you embrace this principle, you stop chasing the myth of money as a magic bullet. Instead, you become a steward of magnification, intentionally directing resources to amplify abundance, creativity, integrity, and impact. As you turn off the lights and leave the building, you know one thing for certain. The next time you see a fatter bank balance, you will smile, ready to ask not, "What can money fix?" Magnify? And in that question lies the answer to every entrepreneur's greatest challenge: using capital not as a crutch, but as a lens that focuses your purpose and multiplies your potential.